All right, let's talk about building wealth, but we're going to reframe it completely. Forget about the hot stock tips, forget about those super complex strategies. The source material we're looking at today points to something way more powerful, something called an invisible architecture. Think of it like a set of simple, quiet systems that build your financial freedom in the background of your life.
I mean, this quote just cuts right through all the noise, doesn't it? We're constantly bombarded with these get-rich-quick schemes that promise you the world overnight. But what if that's just the wrong game to be playing? What if real financial freedom isn't built on exciting, flashy tricks, but on dependable, invisible, maybe even boring habits? So let's really think about that for a second. What if the most powerful moves you can make with your money are the ones that nobody else ever sees? You know, actions that are so ingrained they just feel automatic, kind of like breathing. This isn't about some frantic sprint for cash. It's about finding a calm, steady rhythm that just works.
And that leads us directly to a place a lot of us know really well, the get-rich-quick trap. You know the cycle. You find some new complex system, you get all hyped up, you try to implement it, and then you just feel stressed out and frustrated because it's too overwhelming to keep up. The excitement disappears, but all that complexity, yeah, that sticks around.
And this image just lays it out perfectly. On the left, you've got the get-rich-quick approach. It's complex, it's stressful, and honestly, it's fragile. It breaks the second life gets complicated. But on the right, you have the boring systems approach. It's simple, it's calm, and it's robust. It's strong because it's so simple. So let's talk about the solution here, the power of boring systems. The whole goal isn't to force yourself to be more disciplined. No way. It's to design really simple, repeatable processes that kind of run on autopilot, building your wealth quietly and consistently, without all that stress.
Okay, let's get practical. System number 1 is all about awareness. But before you start groaning, forget about complicated spreadsheets or fancy budgeting apps. The starting point here is so much simpler than that.
Just think about all the things you could track, right? Your spending in every category, your net worth, your investment returns. It's enough to make anyone just give up before they even start. But what if the goal wasn't to track everything? What if you could build that foundational habit of awareness by just focusing on one single thing?
And there it is. 1. That's the magic number. The idea is to just pick one single financial number. Maybe it's what's in your main checking account, maybe it's your total credit card debt, and you just look at it once a day. That's it. The goal isn't to judge it or fix it, it's just to build the habit of paying attention. But here is the real magic happening behind the scenes. This simple little daily check-in, it does something incredibly powerful. It starts to build what the source calls your financial identity. Just by looking, you begin to see yourself as someone who's aware, someone who's in control of their money. And that psychological shift, well, that's the real foundation for everything that comes next.
So once you've got that habit of awareness locked in, you can build on it with System 2, the 1% rule. And this is designed to install probably the single most powerful wealth-building habit there is, paying yourself first.
And the rule itself could not be any easier. The very moment your income hits your account, before you pay rent, before you buy groceries, before you even think about bills, you immediately move just 1% of it to a separate savings account. The amount is so tiny on purpose, it's almost insignificant, so your brain doesn't even put up a fight.
See, the crucial point is this complete reordering of your actions. Most of us get paid, we pay everybody else, the landlord, the credit card company, and then we see if there's anything left to save for ourselves. This system flips that script completely. You pay yourself first. It's a huge mental shift from saving what's left to spending what's left after you save.
And this chart just says it all. The effort it takes to start this, it's basically nothing. It takes a few minutes to set up an automatic transfer. But the long-term impact on your habits, on your psychology, and eventually on your wealth, it's absolutely massive. It is the very definition of a tiny action with huge results.
And this brings us to the ultimate purpose of all these boring little systems. Because it's not actually about the numbers on a screen. The real return on investment here, it's something much, much deeper.
And here it is. This might be the single most powerful idea from the source material. We tend to think financial literacy is all about charts and spreadsheets and jargon. But what if it's really about building trust in yourself? Proving to yourself through these tiny, consistent promises that you keep every day that you are capable of building a secure financial future.
So let's bring this all home. This whole journey to feeling in control of your finances,
it doesn't start with some big, scary, complicated plan. It starts small. It starts with just one number.
And it's not built in one giant heroic effort that burns you out. Nope. It's nurtured quietly, consistently, growing with just 1% at a time. Until you realize that the ultimate prize, the true wealth you've been building all along, is something far more valuable than any bank balance. It's unshakable self-trust.
So, what are the big takeaways here? First, remember that real wealth is built with simple, even boring systems, not flashy tricks. Second, you can start today by just tracking one single number. Third, build that crucial saving habit by paying yourself just 1%, but do it first. And finally, never forget that the real goal isn't just the money, it's building that incredible self-trust.
And that really leaves us with one final question to turn all this from just information into action. Forget about all the complexity, forget the overwhelm. Looking at your own life right now, what's just one small, simple, wonderfully boring system that you can start today?